Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. You might notice that it's a year ahead in the game. It's because I had an attack of the Cybermen, so I had to basically reload an autosave because my recording was unusable. I tried to use my new headset again, and it randomly decided that I needed to sound like a robot, so and I couldn't find any way of fixing it, nor have I found any solutions to the problem. So I guess I'm just going to use this microphone, at least for games like this, for the foreseeable future. And I'm just not going to mess around with microphone settings anymore. Hopefully the music is lower, because a couple people were complaining about that. Yeah. And the other thing was, it was only my recorded audio. It wasn't, because it was running through I don't know. I separated it, so it wasn't the music too, but I couldn't, I guess, divide that and redo the music, or the voice audio. Anyway, yeah, it's a year ahead, and nothing much has happened. I completed Rift Valley, and I moved my focus to being a state focus here, because this is a lot of British people, so that'll finish relatively quickly. I have I started working on, and New Zealand asked for a Dominion, and so did Australia, but I said no to Australia, so that they can think about it harder. If they rejoin, they rejoin. I mean, it's just really funny that they keep doing that, but, yes. There's something with Sphere that happened. Excuse me. Alright, I was working on the Papal States in my sphere, and also Polotsk, which is almost, I think I may have done that later. Like I said, I did an entire recording session, which was unusable, so... No, because Modena is already done, so I must have already done that. Okay, what I was doing was I was manipulating the political situation with Catalonia, hoping that Asturias and Andalusia would take care of them so that they would we would have a more favorable situation for having a Spanish Civil War type scenario. But that hasn't happened. This happened. Oh yeah, the war between Chile and Brazil. I decided not to help Chile because Chile is a huge communist pain in the ass, and it doesn't seem like anybody is helping Brazil, so... we also finished our tech, and are working on indirect artillery fire. I did a colonial, or a, what's it called? National, thing. This would be really stupid. Encouraging Arab nationalism, because it would hit us more than it would hit them. Anyway, the National Convention or whatever gives us a ton of tech points. That's why I'm actually so far ahead on that. This is almost done. It's at 96%. And Madras is actually pretty close to 88. And this is going up really quickly. This one's at 45. There were a couple of places I noticed that had, yeah, Mombasa was already done. Because I had already owned part of it. Just like this. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to continue to work on making some parts of Africa into states. So I'll be cutting and bringing you back when something interesting happens. And I apologize for missing a year of stuff. But in all honesty, it wasn't that interesting. With the exception of Brazil and Chile going at it. And if there's like a short war going on, I can't tell if it happened or not. So we'll be back. Alright, we've created a colony in Kigali, which is this thing here. So there's just these two left, and this one will obviously finish first. I wish there was like a culture map mode. I don't think that would help in this game, honestly. Zambia looks like a good place, but yeah, it was Southern Rhodesia I thought was the most promising. So we'll do that. Well, this is interesting. Puerto Rico has declared independence from Catalonia. They must not have been able to do anything about it during the war. And I guess they're communists. Well, that makes sense because Catalonia is communist. I got a lot of fascists, though. And it looks like a peace sign. Ooh. I guess that's interesting. And doesn't really help us much, but hey. I also probably discovered a bunch of these without you really know about it. Most of them are just prestige bonuses because I've been doing the commerce stuff, so it's pretty much all this crap. So it's not going to be anything worth noting anyway. Okay, we're going to remove the Papal States from the Roman Empire sphere. I don't know if this will actually be good for us in the long run, because, yeah, the United States is going to be fucking with it too. And they're pretty set on having them in their sphere. So, that might not end up being the best thing. I also did that with, the Caliphate with Polotsk. So hopefully we can get some stuff done there. We could do that with Morocco, but I actually want Morocco, because the Papal States is like surrounding it. I want Morocco to be killed by the Papal States. They've taken a couple of their colonies in Africa, which I believe happened in the last video. So, yeah, that's what I want to have. So I'm not going to try to protect them. Well, what do you know? They've actually gone through with it. I believe that the only places they can take are... That's Morocco. Probably the Baleares? Oh no, that's part of Catalonia. Catalonia is the capital province, so probably just Valencia. You can look at the war to see. Yeah. And Catalonia is not protected with by anybody, so it is unlikely that they will be able to do anything. And no one can help them. So, yeah, because I kicked everybody else out and I'm friendly with them, so that's a bit of maneuvering I did. We'll see if they can actually seal the deal, though. Now, I don't know if I've been showing these or not, but I've been doing them, but you just spend a lot of money to get some prestige after a little while. I don't think I'm going to show things like this anymore. Things like this in the Olympics, and because you're just basically clicking yes, and then you get stuff. If it's something else like the Nobel Prizes or something that's a source of prestige, that isn't something that happens all the time, then I'll still show it. Or like finding South Pole or some crap like that. I'll still do it. But stuff like this I'm not going to show anymore. Well, I don't know what this is. I think it's a fascist thing. But I'm not sure. They do have a lot of fascism in their land. So, that's possible. But I don't know the significance of this. It's important enough that it's actually telling us. So, well, looks like we have... What? Oh, okay. We have created the colony in the Lindi region, so that's great. I think the next good one is Zambia. So I'll pick that one. South Africa, I guess, is an easier place to start since I'm moving up like that. And I think this is at 98%. Yeah. So that's great. What is the problem we're having with Mollusk? The problem is that the Turkish Caliphate are jerk bags, so focusing on the Papal States as well is making it difficult for us to work properly on both of them. So yeah, I guess that's the problem. We'll have to work it out. Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I didn't do the lavish exhibition and the national conference, which is what gives me tons of points. So this is gonna this is gonna go completely to the top. And amusingly, the Assyrians are walking around fighting their rebels while the Catalonians are actually capturing their country. But they'll probably still end up winning. And Germany is asking us for an alliance, but it is an interesting situation where we're in the same alliance block as the Turkish Caliphate, which we're going to decline for now. We'll see if that ends up being a mistake later, as Turkish Caliphate is actually closer to our form of government than a lot of other places. So, because we're absolute monarchy, and the theocracy is just a different form of absolute monarchy. At least that's the way I wrote it. Germany's actually partially constitutionalized. So, yeah, if we're going to be looking at government types for the alliance blocks, this is the one we fit in. But anyway, yeah, so our technology is going to jump all the way up completely. So, okay, so indirect artillery fire gives us great bonuses to our artillery. Now we need to start doing this stuff because at infiltration, also these are really good for getting us basic bonuses for our troops. It starts unlocking tank stuff. So deep defense system is something we need to do. We definitely need to have tanks and airplanes before we switch to Hearts of Iron. So I'll probably have just about everything researched though, at least outside of these two things, which I don't think I'm going to be researching any more of. And probably some Navy techs. But you tend to research really quickly at this later point in the game. So, I really wish there was some kind of, I don't know, set system for starting some kind of World War I thing, but there isn't, and anything I could trigger manually would just be kind of lame, so I'm not going to bother trying to do it. Even some of the mods I have seen, I haven't tried very many of them. Don't really have anything that works all that well. Although, if there are any that work really well, I don't know about them. But anyway, this may finish immediately. I don't think so, but I'll cut back if it does. Alfred Marshall. Very vague description. Well, there you go. Very good bonuses. +2 reconnaissance to pretty much all types of infantry. And the digging cap is +4, which is very good. Fort max level, I really like to upgrade forts. But it's such a pain in the ass to micromanage them. If I could go into the menu, like the military menu, and click things to build forts in every province, that would be way better. But yeah, as it is, you have to go into every single province and click them, not just states, but every single province, and click the fort thing. So it sucks. Well, I don't know if that has to do with every province, but definitely every state. No, because it's like railroads. Yeah. Yeah. It's dumb. Oh. And obviously I'm going to go for infiltration next. Now tanks actually require a combustion engine, which I already have. And it requires us to get this option. They're called barrels. You see barrel factory. Barrels are tanks. Celtic Free Corps. War veterans, disgruntled with what they see as failures of capitalism and liberal democracy. We're an absolute monarchy. I don't see why this is something that they're doing. Have formed a free corps, an ideological paramilitary organization ostensibly existing to protect the state and homeland, while de facto promoting a fascist political agenda in one of our states. The Corps has already begun flexing its muscles in local politics, threatening several local politicians and maintaining a fairly intimidating uniformed presence in this state. Well, we can let them prance about if they absolutely must. In Ruwashid, all soldiers become 40% more fascist. And everybody who supports fascists gains 2 militancy. Or we can do this, which is prevent organizations from recruiting on barracks ground. And all soldiers gain 4 militancy in that province, gain force consciousness, and every province will get, well, not every province, but I guess this province, every province in the state, which British primary culture gets free corps. I don't think we have a lot of fascists. Not really. So I'll pick this one. Doesn't seem to really matter. Hopefully that's not like a big chain of events like the communist one. Benefits exploited. And while our hard-pressed economy is bleeding massive sums into the pension system, alarming concerns are at the same time being raised about the systematic exploitation of the system, with children at the age of 13 in some cases being listed as recipients. Massive debates in Parliament today as Committee on Pensions and Living Standards today disbanded without submitting its final report. Apparently internal conflict on the bipartisan committee overhearing procedures has become a terminal stumbling block. The resulting confusion in Parliament could be exploited to quickly rescind some of the more costly welfare reforms. You could say we get rid of the Cruft, which gets rid of acceptable pensions. Well, it sets our stuff at acceptable pensions. Or we could say, and all pops where the consciousness is above 5 gain 4 militancy, which is very few places. Or we could say we are in no hurry and gain 5.75 prestige. Well, let's do the absolute monarchy thing, since it doesn't really add our militancy at all. Yeah. If we're going to be an absolute monarchy, we might as well act like it. Okay, the Vizagapantam region has got enough guys, got states, so we'll do that. Awesome. And not that. This is pretty close. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to focus capitalists here. Yeah, I'm gonna focus capitalists here, and then when I get tanks, I'm gonna focus automotive. So hopefully they build some tank factories there instead of making another state, because that is potentially very useful. It has a very high population, so focusing that and then focusing or encouraging that stuff and then focusing workers will get us a very large amount of tanks, so we won't have to worry about supply problems. And okay, we can finally add the Papal States back to our sphere, those fascist little papal bastards. Okay, we've discovered mortars, which increases our attack and defense of our horse artillery, which I don't use a whole lot of, but I do have some, so it's useful, I suppose. Okay, this is something that happened in my last recording that I kind of, I don't know, I waffled on it a little bit. I really don't want to release South Africa because it's a very productive part of our empire. But on the other hand, I don't know, it's a nice thing to do. I'm going to turn it down for now and potentially cause massive rebel problems down there. And I'm going to leave it up to the audience to decide whether I leave that permanently in that state or not. If anything, it opens up some interesting possibilities later for other stuff, but we'll see.